Nice. You want to see why I am the way I am?
Yeah.
Look at this ornament I got as a kid that I proudly still display. Wheel of Fortune.
Oh my God.
This is my favorite ornament as a child, and I have it to this day. The wheel actually spins too.
I love it. Do you have
That
a
is
Jeopardy
cute.
one?
A what one?
You need to get a Jeopardy one.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Too soon, Alicia. Too soon.
By the way, we have a animal although if he would have had it from when he was a kid, it would have been fine. We'll see. Hey, everybody. This is The Jam. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amy Rutledge alongside Mr. John Hanson and Miss Felicia Lawrence.
Hey.
Happy Monday, everybody. Check that off the list. You're done with your Monday. Someone who's not having a good Monday is 44th Ward Alderman Tom Tunney. This story is insane. So Tom Tunney in the Lakeview neighborhood, he's my alderman. He runs Ann Sather's, which is a restaurant that's been around since the 80s, a couple different locations. You know, we're on this lockdown and no restaurants are supposed to be open right now. Well, it turns out Ann Sather's has been having some people in the restaurant. He's kind of done a mea culpa on this, Tom Tunney. He says that it was a mistake. The governor's calling him out on this. This is a big deal.
Yeah, this is a huge deal. Let me tell you on so many levels how frustrating this is. First of all, I understand the plight of restaurants and their employees. That is not something that to be taken for granted. However, he is a city official, an elected city official who is supposed to be the one who's following these things to the T. He said, and I quote, he made a bad judgment call. No, you didn't. You made several bad judgment calls. And frankly, the only reason you're even saying that is because you got caught or you'd probably still be doing it. And Chicago has such a bad reputation for letting people get away with stuff that these are the guys that can't do that.
Okay, I feel like he is certainly being targeted because he's an alderman. And I say this because there are a number of restaurants that are open and have people dining inside. Downtown, North Side. I know someone on the Northwest Side in the Wicker Park area. I'm seeing party flyers for events that are happening inside. There are a lot of people doing it. I don't want to say specific names because I don't want to get people in trouble, but it's happening a lot. Now, there are a lot that aren't. There are a lot of restaurants that are out there and they are following the rules like they should be. But this is a tough time and this was done out of desperation, obviously. Yes, it broke the rules. I get it. But this is clearly, these restaurants, they are on the brink of closure. They're saying the Restaurant Association is saying 66% of restaurants probably will not return, will not come back. This is a tough time for a lot of people. Full disclosure, my family owns a restaurant and I'm sympathetic to this.
I think you're just lighting some sort of seance camera candle in the background there, Felicia, and you're really too chilled out about this.
My doctor called, a lot happened. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Here's what also bothers me about this. Mayor Lightfoot and Governor Pritzker have now thrown him under the bus on this issue. They have also done things that they shouldn't have done. And this is what's really annoying. Every week there's a new story about a mayor or a governor that took pictures at a wedding that they shouldn't have. And they're all trying to preach this stuff, and none of them are following. Not none of them, but a lot of them aren't. And so how do they expect any of us to do it? It's insane.
Exactly. And Felicia, I don't take away from what a lot of these restaurant owners are going for, but if you're an elected city official and you're getting paid by the taxpayers, you better damn well be following the laws that you are helping pass and ordinances.
Yes,
I can see that.
From the Tonight Show to the Late Show to the Daily Show, Michael Kosta has been keeping us laughing over the years and now is about to release his first one-hour stand-up on Comedy Central. The U of I grad joins us now, too, to talk a little bit about the stand-up. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's exciting times, and anything I can do to give people more content to watch right now.
Right.
That's exactly what we want. Congratulations on this 1 hour special. Is this like daunting or is it just kind of like, I'm okay now that it has been filmed?
I think both of those are what I felt. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 17 years now. This is my first 1 hour special. So I was very nervous when the first edit came out because I'm like, what if this whole time I suck and I didn't know it? And now I have to watch myself. I was very relieved. It turned out great. It was important for me to do the special not just in one place. We moved around. It's why it's titled Detroit, New York, LA, because that's the same path that my comedy has taken. And I'm excited about it, and now the challenge is getting people to tune in and watch it. So that's where you've been helpful. Thank you.
I always find it funny too, because I was watching some of the trailer, and you're making fun of other cities while you're in them. Do people receive those jokes usually funny, or sometimes do you think people get a little miffed sometimes too?
Yeah, that's a good question, but people laugh, and that's kind of what I want to share with everyone, is everyone can take a joke.
Yeah, so we want a Michael Kosta, Chicago, Chicago, Chicago.
Yeah.
What does that look like? I mean, and don't start talking about our pizza. So what does that look like?
Chicago is hard to roast. I love Chicago. I mean, wind, duh. For a long time, I thought it was the windy city, and then finally someone's like, it's the windy city. So that just shows how dumb I am. But it's tough to make fun of Chicago, and if there was maybe if the stand-up comedy scene didn't take me to Los Angeles, I probably would be in Chicago with you guys, if that's okay. This is a comedy special where you come and laugh, and you won't even know probably who I voted for afterwards.
That's pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
I was looking at the press release on it, and the topics include side boobs.
Yeah, side boobs. I mean,
which we love side boob, but we are all a fan of.
That's what I talk about. Men love it, women love it. I mean, everyone loves side boob, but the equivalent on me, nobody loves.
You've checked a lot of boxes. Like, what else would you do?
Oh man, I mean, I'm sure it's the same in your business. We're in a similar business, but I feel like there's a lot I've already done, but then also every single day someone goes like, I never heard of you. Where have you been? And I'm like, well, I've been doing this for 20 years. But look, day one, the goal was to somehow eke out a little bit of money making people laugh. And the fact that I'm still have my head above water, the Daily Show is this amazing, insane opportunity that I just can't believe I'm even in every day. So if I have more things to do, great. If not, I was supposed to be telling jokes in the basement of a bowling alley, and I'm okay with that also.
Oh, that's special.
That is awesome. Well, we can't wait to see it. The special drops on December 11th, and we'll get all the details out there for you too.
Well, if you thought KFC couldn't get any better, well, honey, let me tell you, it's getting hotter, okay? Mario Lopez will be playing Colonel Sanders in a Lifetime mini-movie.
He has a secret recipe that's going to change the world.
Harlan claims to have some secret recipe.
A secret recipe? Spare me.
We all have our secrets. If you marry my daughter, I promise there'll be more long weekends in your future.
Mom, I have to tell you something.
We have a problem.
Secret's out, chicken man. I'll take care of this. You're ruining everything!
Just kill him already!
Who the hell are you? Harlan Sanders, the new chef.
Well, it's going to be filled with all 11 herbs and spices and so much more. It's going to be spicy. So this is supposed to be, 15 minutes of distraction from 2020 and everything that's going on. As you can see, Mario Lopez has the whole goatee, the silver comb over, all of this jazz. It looks a little silly. Also note that this is not the first time Colonel has been the Don Juan. He also has a romantic novel, which you see right here. So definitely 100% awkward, but a little cool at the same time.
Yeah, the cover, the book that actually they did out a few years ago did not go over well, actually. It was really poorly received, and I think pissed off a lot of women, frankly, because it was a Mother's Day special they had going on. This looks a little bit lighter, stupid, but it's supposed to be stupid, so whatever, it is what it is. I ain't gonna watch it.
I just think in general, as a society, we continue to take one step forward and then two steps back. And this falls under the two steps back scenario.
It's a step forward. They're encouraging us during our time of need. It's 2020. We all need a little chuckle, a little weird choosing Mario Lopez. May not have been my first choice, but that's what's getting the attention, is how awkward it is.
Spicy.
You just know there's some people out there that this is the culture they're getting, the entirety of it, the book and the movie, and they should be looking at some real things. Anyways, Deanna, our spicy Deanna here now. What's going on?
No, don't toss to me yet. No, I'm uncomfortable. I can't tease when I'm uncomfortable. What's going on?
Why
Okay.
not? Why no tease when you're uncomfortable? Come
Because
on.
now I got to talk about news, and I'm like super serious, and you guys are talking about this movie that is just terrible. Anyway,
All right, here, I'll
coming
give it
up
to
in
you.
news you need
Here's
to know.
Deanna with
Super
some
important.
serious news.
There we go. We are talking about COVID-19 relief that is coming to Cook County, thanks to Cook County President Tony Prepwinkle. So make sure you stick around for that. That's right after this. John?
Yeah. We always talk about shopping local this year, more important than ever. So throughout the show, we've got a gift gadget guru coming along, David Viggiano. He's got a few ideas for gifts locally, including this interactive game.
This is a card game called Quarantine, of course, and it was developed by a woman who was quarantined with her husband, and she's so bored of playing the same games, backgammon and gin rummy, and she's like, there's no good games just for two people. So she developed this herself. It's kind of like a play on spades or hearts, but they have like fun little cards, like here are your remedy cards, and they have virus cards, and of course the numbered cards are your days in quarantine. So an ace is 1 day, a deuce is 2 days. So the lower cards are actually more valuable because who wants to spend time in quarantine? Right.
Hey, I'm Diana Gutierrez with the news you need to know. Illinois Department of Public Health is ready to distribute Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine when, of course, it becomes FDA approved. Now, the state could receive over 100,000 doses next week. Moderna's vaccine is also looking to get approved, and that's looking to come the week of Christmas. Now, the vaccines will go to the counties with the highest infection rates. Mayor Lori Lightfoot is promoting a new campaign all focusing on racial healing across the city. It's called Together We Heal, and it challenges Chicagoans to have candid conversations and participate in activities. Now, the challenge is from now until the end of January, ending with a virtual healing summit. You can find more info on the city's website. And former Chicago White Sox player Dick Allen died at the age of 78, a 7-time MLB All-Star with the Phillies and the Sox, named American League's most valuable player in 72. I mean, this is a player that I've seen a lot of people kind of talk about over social media. It's a pretty hard day for them.
Yeah, he was a player with Philadelphia in a time when black athletes were still very disrespected, even though he was a star for them. Got called the N-word many times. And they profiled him in the 1972 Sports Illustrated. It's one of the all-time covers in Sports Illustrated history. First of all, it's when the White Sox wore red pinstripes, which is hilarious. He's got a cigarette in the dugout, which is hilarious. And he's juggling. But he always was chasing this bad boy reputation headed off the field, and they were very unfair to him in Philadelphia. Any little slip up they would write about, and he had a breakout year coming to the White Sox and just a true gentleman of the game. And just another reminder, it was not all that long ago, and obviously still continues this day, the racial issues that we continue to fight in sports. So rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's a big question of the day. Can in-person schooling be done safely? Well, a Sun Times analysis shows that only 16 Illinois schools in the past month have had a COVID-19 outbreak. 2 of those schools were here in the city. Now, CPS plans to bring back special needs students and preschoolers by the beginning of the year. K through 8th grade, they're looking at a February date with a hybrid kind of program there. Now, there could be some delay because the CTU is accusing the district of refusing to negotiate health and safety conditions. They're now seeking an injunction, and the union says that CPS is not negotiating in good faith. And look, like the article stated, as long as there's, I think they called it mitigation, right? Really good ventilation, cleaning, social distancing, masks, etc. This has to happen because I have family members, like cousins that are in 8th grade, 7th grade, and they're struggling. I mean, they might not pass the grade because it's so serious.
Yeah, I mean, these kids are the social portion of this is really, really hurting the kids. Not only hurting their personal interactions, but it's hurting their education abilities.
Oh, yeah.
They thrive on learning with their peers, kind of competing with their peers and getting that, personal interaction. I understand the teachers, man. I could not even imagine. It's a tough time. They're doing the best they can. But I feel like we're learning more about the disease and we're learning more about how to keep it at bay. And I feel like they need to, step a little bit more into those waters of trying in-person learning because these kids are going to be the ones who suffer the most.
Yeah, I mean, the issue here is that it isn't one size fits all. And Amy, I'm curious as to what you think, what your specific experience is. Do you think hybrid is good, or do you think it should be stay at home, or like all or nothing?
I think it needs to be all, to be honest with you, because we are hybrid. We are at home now. We were hybrid, and like Henry went to school for 2 days a week because they had to take 3 hours to clean the school so the next group, the PM kids, could go. And it disrupted the entire day. It was tough for us as parents. I imagine it's got to be really tough on the teachers. And then this at-home learning is not great either. So we need to step into the pool of getting them all back in class and being super careful about it.
But Amy, what do you say to a teacher that doesn't want to show up to school because they don't feel safe? Do you think that they should have to use PTO, or do you think they should get fired, or what?
No, I think what you need to do is we need to be able to find the teachers, and maybe it means making bigger class sizes, and in some places it's not going to be possible. But find the teachers who can stay and who can be in person. And if a teacher has their own health issues they have to worry about, that's a different case. That's where maybe that teacher moves to a department where they're doing Zoom classes with kids who couldn't come to school either for the same reason. Yeah. I think you need to start shifting and getting creative a little bit.
Yeah, I am with you on the whole creative thing because I initially thought of the teachers who might have some health conditions. You don't want to, I'm sure they care about their students, but you don't want to lose your life either.
Right.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Complicated.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on. If you're searching for a job geared to helping people in the community, La Casa Norte is looking to grow its team.
Hi, I'm Jose Munoz. I'm the Executive Director of La Casa Norte. We're an organization that serves youth and families who are experiencing homelessness. If you're passionate about ending homelessness, we'd love you to join our team. We have plenty of positions open, and we also have volunteer opportunities. Visit lacasanorte.org to learn more about the work that we're doing and how you can be a part of our mission.
And we did not purposefully put that right after teachers who might want to look for other opportunities. You can catch Job Hunt Chicago Sunday at 11 a.m. on the U, guys. And check out jobhuntchicago.com. We've got a whole bunch more opportunity up there if you are in your search. Krista, take it away, lady.
Hey guys, okay, so people are stepping on their Twitter soapbox because of this text thread between an employer and his manager. We'll break it down coming up in Trending. The Jam will be right back. All right, when this tweet popped up on my news feed today, I knew we had to talk about it. It's going viral and it's a little bit of a debate. So take a look at this text thread. It's between an employer and his manager. And so this screenshot that he posted to Twitter, it has hundreds of thousands of likes and tens of thousands of retweets. Let's look at it together. And he writes on Twitter, I found out my grandma died this morning and this was my job's response. Hey, you were in at 11. Is everything okay? Which we can take, it was probably late. He responds, my grandma passed away. I'm sorry. I just found out this morning. Do you mind if I take this day off? The employer says that's fine. For the future, let us know ahead of time, no matter how early, so we can get your shift cover. Excuse me, the manager responded with that. So this is, people are taking both sides here, and people are firing back on Twitter like, how late were you? And asking questions. So the user responded with, his time codes. He said he responded immediately. Clearly, he's not trying to hide this from his boss. Now, many don't see anything wrong with how the manager responded, saying what they did. And they're kind of seeing this like grieving doesn't absolve you from your professional responsibility of telling your manager that your grandma passed away and that you're going to be late or you can't come into work. All of the above. So what side are you guys on? I think it really, the employer should have called his manager. It shouldn't have been a text thread. I mean, and even if he did forget, he should make a phone call because that's the professional, responsible thing to do. Explain his situation, even if he was, his mind was not focused on work that day because his grandma passed away. I mean, you got to think of, it's a human. You've got to deal with people's emotions and things like this.
Yeah, I think the manager could have been a little bit nicer about it, but then the guy responded back like, oh, how do I tell you where to put my 2 weeks in? Sounds like a real bad employee. I'm sorry his or her grandma died, but get over it. Like, this is the real world.
Well, not get over it, but...
Yes! Get over the relationship with your manager.
Nobody wants to hear that the moment after their loved one passes. I'm saying
all he said was in the future
we're having with this with the response.
But all he said was in the future, make sure that you contact us so we can find a replacement. All he did was wanted a response in a more timely manner because they are now left empty-handed and he got a business to run. You're a businesswoman.
No. I get I get it. I'm definitely on you guys' side. It was the John's get over part made me cringe just a little bit.
I meant get over your boss being that way. You're right. That was a little insensitive. Now I got to send an apology like the boss does. And there we go.
Yeah. You clarified. I think we all can agree. Don't have this conversation on text. This should have been had over.
I agree. We can't even do it over Zoom.
Yeah. More gift ideas here before we go to break.
So this is Meredith London pet portraiture, and she paints your pet's face on Christmas ornaments, these glass ornaments, right? And then on the back, she'll put your name. Now, last year, this is my little girl, Bridget, and she passed. And my dog groomer sent this to me as a gift, and I loved it so much, I got my other dog, Bean. Now they sit on my tree. I got so many compliments. I bought them for everybody this year. So all you have to do is email her, send her a picture, and she'll paint them. Just be wary this year because of all the
I just, just got a moment here. But Felicia, I love the seance that you are having with the candles. Is it still lit there? I've never, you're setting a whole new vibe here for us today.
I wanted to set the mood for you because you guys deserve it. Also, it's a little stinky because it's super dusty. And if my hair catches, if you see any smoke back here, let me know.
Tell you.
Yes, I got my tree going. I got my candles going. I'm getting in a zen place.
Oh, I need some of that zen.
I was hoping
like dirty
to make fun
facts
of
in most of my house.
I was hoping to make fun of Krista. Maybe we can do it a little bit later. Did you see how she had like a painting that she drew? It looked like a 5-year-old drew the lines for the red line, the blue line. She's got.
Oh, it's not even a painting. It's a print. It's a Chicago print.
Who made that?
I
Is that
can't
going to
remember
be
the
in
artist's
trouble now
name.
for this? I don't know.
You might, because I've seen
It
him
looked
before.
like she did it with a marker.
Oh, yes, it is Monday, almost evening. It is Monday evening. You got through the day, right, Johnny? I'd say, 6:30 is pretty evening-ish. We made it.
Nailed that one, Amy. Yeah.
I was like, wait, is it evening technically? 6:30? Yeah, I guess it's evening. Thanks for joining us, everybody, here on The Jam. I'm Amy Rutledge. He's John Hanson, and she is Miss Felicia Lawrence.
So the Bears suck, apparently. We think we've known this for a while. They've lost 6 games in a row. But everyone was wondering if today would be the day that Coach Nagy or Ryan Pace would get fired. And we haven't heard anything yet. I just Google searched everything, looked at it all, and we're all good. But look, if you're wondering who they need to fire, the Sun-Times put it pretty clearly today. Fire everyone. And then,
Okay.
There's like players that were like tweeting about this, Felicia, former players all day today going after them, and current players that are injured during the game live tweeting about how bad it's going.
Oh my goodness. I don't want this to be a whole like harp on the Bears. They're doing terrible, but let's do it.
Too late.
Let's do it. Why not? Why not? Okay. We're disappointed. It's 2020. This is supposed to be the only thing that gets us out of this little rut that we're all in as a country, as Chicagoans. We need these wins. And it's not only a little bit bad, it's a whole lot of bad.
I just gave up. I feel like the Cubs have turned, or the Bears have turned into the Cubs of old, and we got a century, and then they'll be good again.
Well,
85, right? So, maybe not quite a whole century now.
Why are you gonna do that about my Cubbies?
That's true.
He's like, why do you have to bring them up? Look how sad he is. See? Everyone's sad.
Chicago.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Chicago born and raised Connor Del Rio makes it big as he co-stars alongside Luis Gerardo Mendez in the new flick Half Brothers. This flick is here in time for the holidays. And Connor, I have to ask, without giving too much away, this is really about family.
Yes, 100%. First of all, I just want to say before I talk about this movie, I am born and raised in Chicago. Okay, not to hate on the suburbanites. Y'all are cool. You're fine. I'm actually from the city. Von Steuben. Oh, wait. All right, now that that's out of the way, Panther for life. Yes, this movie is about family, which I think we can all relate to, unless you're an alien or from Mars. It's about acceptance and forgiveness, and I think that this is a movie about two half brothers who didn't know each other existed. One is a super successful aviation engineer from Mexico, and the other was born in the United States, and they both have these complicated relationships with their father. And I could personally relate to that. I have my own complicated relationship to my father, which I know millions of people, not just in this country, but around the world can relate to. So that's what I really loved about the movie, and I thought was really cool that people will be able to relate to. So this is a funny movie. It is a comedy, but there are some really hard, heavy scenes that I think are really important and valid to kind of give people a perspective of what's really going on. And we have so many similarities with Mexico. Like, America and Mexico are half brothers in real life.
Exactly.
And I feel like we just need to look at each other with more empathy and less stereotypes and less, like aggravation.
But to switch gears here, to talk about the trailer, okay, I was cracking up. There's a little snippet of you and a goat, right?
Shut the door! Shut the door! Goat! Gotta get out of here! Oh my God!
How was building up that relationship? Was it the goat was like, hey Connor, yeah, we're buds, or no?
No, it was so tough. Okay. We filmed in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, New Mexico for 3.5 months. And I have a husky, and I live in LA for 7 years now. And I couldn't bring him to Albuquerque, 120 degrees every day. I'm going to be filming for 12 to 16 hours a day. And so I brought him to my aunt and uncle in New Hampshire because I didn't want to put him boarding. Yeah, it's a long story. Anyway, I thought, I'll just replace my love and affection with this goat. That'll be my dog in Albuquerque. But goats are not like dogs. Like, dogs are like angels. Like, we all love dogs.
Yeah,
right?
they love you more than we love them. Yeah.
Goats are from beneath the surface, like the spawn of Satan. They're soulless. They just like look at you and chew. Like, that's all they do, and then they poop. I think leaving the theater, I just hope that, it's hard to say, like, I never want to be like, I want my movie to change the world, because I think that's a really hard ask. I think that's a universal job of all of us as a singular conscious to change perspectives of people and change society for the better. But I do hope that people kind of walk out of the movie and maybe their perspective has just flipped a little bit,
And I need to know, okay, what are your Chicago traditions? Like, favorite neighborhood, favorite restaurant? Give me all the details. I'm taking notes.
Okay, here we go. Favorite Chinese, Wing Ho on Sheridan and Berwyn.
Okay.
Best egg rolls.
That's a really good one. Yep.
Yeah, Wing Ho is bomb. Wing Ho's amazing. This is my favorite Chinese place in the world. Deep dish, I go Lou Malnati's.
Yeah, Lou's is the way to go.
Portillo, Chicago style hot dog, of course. Favorite view, Montrose Harbor, to me, has the best view of the Chicago skyline. Oh, gosh, are you guys ready for this?
Oh, God.
World Series tattoo, baby. Cubbies. My sister designed my World Series tattoo. Cubs till I die.
And I'm a Sox fan. Goodbye. No, I'm just
Hey.
new movie, Half Brothers, is in theaters now. You can go ahead and follow him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. You can keep up with the Chicago actor. Such a good conversation there.
So cute.
Yeah. Sad news, though. He mentioned Wing Ho, and they've been open for 49 years in the Edgewater neighborhood. And they just announced they're closing down. Their last day is this Saturday, which, again, just, emphasizes, go to these places or order. Obviously, he's not living here, but like for takeout when you can.
Right.
And Sathers is still open, Alderman Tunney, but I won't retrace that. So.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see how long.
But really, but what a charming guy.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Moving on. The North Pond. Nailed that one. I made fun of Amy at the top of this blog, and here I am doing this. All right. This story gets me going. The North Pond in Lincoln Park is disappearing. It's eroding along the side, and everyone's saying that it's drying up. Now, you might say, who cares? It's just a silly little pond. But migratory birds use the pond, and it's a nice little nature walk. So here's my thing, ladies. Here's what I don't get. Lake Michigan is like 22 inches above where it should be. Record highs, right? The North Pond is like 30 steps away from Lake Michigan. Why don't a couple million of us get some buckets and just scoop up some water and bring it into the pond? Like, we could solve 2 birds with 1 stone here.
Okay, let me get all sciencey on you here, John, okay? Because there are certain types of algae in the ponds. Things grow differently. There's a different microbiome in the water, which some of those migratory birds prefer over Lake Michigan, might actually need as well. So by changing their environments, you could be doing more harm than good.
Okay, so she gave you a scientific perspective. I'm going to give you a PR perspective, okay? You should make this your next thing, John. You could go viral. You could be huge with this. You should get your buckets. You should go out to the pond, and you should start making trips back and forth. You said you need 2 million people? Nope. Martin Luther King said you only need 1 person to change the world. I think you could do this, John. You could do it.
Hansen.
I had a dream, 1 bucket at a time. I do remember that speech for sure.
We vote for you.
Yes. Also, our director, Brian, suggests, can't we just open a hydrant? Yeah, right? This is what I'm talking about, people. Get a nice hose.
Okay, a little engineering, a little more engineering in that
Those
talk. I got it.
Those people in Lincoln Park are rich as can be. Just drag out one of their hoses, and they'll be fine.
We did raise the city after a massive fire. You think they'd be able to figure out a pond? Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
I think they can figure it out. The question is how many dollar signs will be attached to it.
There you
We'll
go.
see.
That's the big old question. Hey,
Yeah.
have you guys got a chance to get out and see some of the Christmas lights, the holiday lights in and around the city of Chicago and the suburbs? They are gorgeous, and we would like to see yours. So make sure, send us pictures or video of all the beautiful holiday decorations you either have at your home or at your neighbor's house to cw26chicago.com. We'll be featuring some of these throughout the newscast and, of course, on our web pages as well. This is our partnership with ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. You see all the details there on your screen. We want to see the gorgeous lights. All right, Deanna, what's coming up next?
Hey, Amy. So coming up in news you need to know, there's a pretty heated debate on whether or not violence should be classified as a public health crisis. We're going to break that down in news you need to know. Krista?
Thanks, Dee. Also, my top 3 trending stories are coming up. We're talking new music, we're talking Ugg boots, what? And Photoshop. I'll explain later. We'll be right back after this.
I'm Diana Gutierrez with the news you need to know to end your day. Cook County Board President Tony Prepwinkle begins to bring back the COVID-19 Resident Cash Assistant Program. It gave in the past 3,000 residents a $600 check. Now, she says they're growing the fund by $9 million, and they're going to be able to distribute money to 10,000 people. Applications are accepted until this Friday. And the Chicago Auto Show is not happening in 2021, at least for now. It's actually on hold. Organizers are aiming for a spring event instead of its original date in February. Now, this is one of the biggest shows in North America, and it's been in talks with the city and the state to follow those COVID-19 guidelines and bring it back, hopefully by the spring. And guys, okay, the DMV is still closed. Jesse White announced driver services facilities will stay closed until January 5th. It was supposed to open today. The deadline for renewing expired licenses and IDs is extended to June 1st. Certain facilities, of course, are still open for new drivers, CDL applicants, plate stickers, etc. But I just want to say I had my alarm clock set. They open at 7:30. You never want to get there at 7:30. You have to get there an hour before. So you have to wake up an hour before that. I was ready to go, and then I found out that they were closed. You know, I can't go to Binny's. By the way, my license is expired. I should probably say that. I can't go to Binny's and buy drinks. And also, every story I tell is about alcohol. But it doesn't matter because my license is expired and I cannot do anything about it. And I can't get into places, not anymore, but like I can't buy alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
No, Instacart. I get Instacart and they check my license when you make an alcohol purchase. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that now.
Yeah, they don't check that closely, let's be honest. And Deanna, hey, you also can't get on a flight, so I hope you don't have any flights coming up anytime soon.
I can't do what?
You can't get on a flight. You can't get through security either. Unless you have your passport.
I have no purpose. I have no purpose. No, I don't have that renewed either.
Amy,
Gosh,
aren't you
know
just a
what?
little jealous that they still check their IDs and you and I up here are just the old people that we get?
Hey, speak for yourself, Don Hansen. Mariano's checks mine every single time. It's required.
Amy's like,
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
give me one moment. Let me get it out.
Let me pull it out. Or I love when you stand there holding it and they're like, you're good.
Stop.
You're like, whoa.
No, guys.
Okay. We gotta pivot, we gotta
Look,
pivot.
I know, and I hate to bring things into the dark side, but this is a really important conversation happening here in Chicago. It's obviously no doubt that the city has seen a gruesome year of crime. The reward for info on the slaying of retired firefighter Dwayne Williams is up to $34,000. Williams, of course, was victim of an attempted carjacking in Morgan Park. So far, no one has been questioned in connection to what officials are calling random killing. And some community activists want more cops, even the National Guard, to come help the city of Chicago when it comes to violence. Others call violence a public health crisis, which needs to be executed in a way. So, I mean, I understand both sides. But look, Chicago has seen 726 homicides compared to the 500 last year. I mean, we're in trouble. This is a big deal.
100% a big deal. And maybe putting a public health crisis status on it, maybe that will help raise the level of how important, the level of urgency with this. I mean, this is a really big problem. This isn't happening in other places throughout the country. Again, Chicago always gets highlighted for its violence, but we can't accept this as a community. So, I mean, maybe this extra status will help the urgency in terms of how we address this issue.
Well, there has to be a reason they haven't done it yet, because the violence has been horrible in Chicago in the last decade. I mean, the last few years have been especially bad, and they're not taking federal action against it. There must be a reason that I certainly am not aware of, but I can imagine that's the only reason that they're not asking the government to step in. Probably because you want to have, one boss in charge, not several, and it depends on who's in charge, and you know how that works in politics. So.
Well, I think you're kind of hitting on this, is that I think the reason why they don't talk to the feds is because how over polarized the president is. And when you think National Guard, there's obviously connotations to what happened in the 60s and the violence that certain communities faced when the National Guard's in town. But I think it's one of the really unfortunate things about the over politicization of Donald Trump, because some federal help, I think, could go a long way if it's used in the right places. And there have been some relationships between the local government and the federal government. But from an investigation standpoint, look, I don't want National Guard troops on every single corner of Chicago. I don't think anyone wants that. But there's definitely ways that we need more bodies on the street.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Felicia.
I think what you said about investigations is really huge and important, because that's something we talked about in my family. Is like, where are people taking these cars? Like, they're taking it somewhere to get money or parts or whatever. So I think that investigation side could really make a huge difference. Someone was robbed outside of my home. They were leaving church and they caught the guys, luckily, but we know that doesn't happen all the time.
Well, then you got to go dial it back to the root cause of these crimes, right? People are suffering.
Yes,
people are
too.
hungry. They need money for their families, or they could be involved in bad stuff too. But I mean, there are other issues here that are more simple as food and housing and clothing and education.
It's just, these are complex macro issues, but unfortunately they are very micro in their impact on every individual in a community. And then these really, it's just so damaging. And I just feel like we continue to go down this, what can we do? What can we do? And there's this very cyclical thing.
And
something's got to break, and a change like bringing in the feds might be what you need to do. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. We got to take a quick break. We will be right back.
She wants to lay on my feet, and there's no room.
All right, everybody, it's time for my top 3 stories on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook that caught my eye today. First up, Kid Cudi is coming out with new music. Praise baby Jesus. I love new music in the queue. So we've got his 3rd installment of Man on the Moon. He posted the album art to Twitter today. This is dope album art, I gotta say. So he posted his track list, and we can expect all these songs this week, December 11th. So keep your eyes peeled. Okay, and this one, people are up in arms and roasting Cardi B over this bag she's considering buying. Now, look right there. What people are going crazy for is it's an $88,000 bag. But what people can't get over is it's Ugg boots. It looks like Ugg boots. I mean, Ugg boots run for $100. It's just still steep for a comfortable boot. So, hey, Cardi, we'll sew you up our Ugg boots and give you a purse. You don't have to buy that one. Okay, and this next one, there's a trend with all these celebs going around. Now, you've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Amy might do this with her kids. We'll get to that in a moment. But what these celebrities are doing are taking a name that rhymes with their name and making their own version of Elf on a Shelf. So, for example, Elizabeth Banks, she put Tom Hanks on Banks. And Reese Witherspoon, she did Grease on Reese. So I went into Photoshop today and I made some of you. Take a look at this first one. Here is Jamie on Amy. That's Jamie over there.
Amy doesn't look happy about that.
I don't.
She must not be a Jamie Lee Curtis fan. Okay, we've got another one of Felicia. Now this is Alicia on Felicia.
Hey, girl.
Alicia Keys. All we need is a piano up in there.
Yes, I got a cute
finally. And finally, we had to do it, John. Hanson brothers on John Hanson.
Oh, Hanson on Hanson. Not technically a rhyme, but I do appreciate it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's better than putting It's better than putting Manson on Hanson, the noted
Yes.
serial killer.
That was the name that I
Little
thought
bit
about,
better.
but I wasn't going to say anything.
I'll definitely take that. Nice job, Crystal.
You
We
guys
appreciate
didn't
it.
sound
Good
so
job, Kristen.
impressed. I was expecting more from you. Do you not love it as much as I love it?
I was called
That's
Umbop.
great.
I was called Umbop from 8th grade through senior year, so I've heard all the jokes. We'll be back.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I needed.
All right, time for Deep Dish. You know what we do. And today is a really fun one because there's been rumors of this, but they just announced the Olympic Committee that starting with the Olympics in 2024, mind you, we still have to do the 2021s, but in 2024, breakdancing is going to be added. And when I hear breakdancing, I think of our producer, Jamie, who's joining us. Jamie has breakdanced on the show with us before. He's joining us right now in a basement of some kind or garage. Jamie, how you doing, my friend? Are you excited about this? Yeah. Jamie's one of our key photographers here. Here he is doing his thing. Now, Jamie, this is a prized possession of yours. I know you share this everywhere.
So will you be applying for the 2024 Olympics?
Dang, Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking for a sponsor? We'll sponsor you.
All right, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to because that's what we do here. Can you give us any moves? Can you show us anything live? I know you're in a limited space there.
Okay, spin on your head. Go.
Do you need us to provide the music for you, Jamie? All right.
Yeah. Is there a beat? Do we need a beat? Okay.
Okay. I don't know if they can all hear Jamie. We've been talking to our photographer, and he's doing some dances right now. Keep on going. No, Jamie, we got to fill more time. We got another 20 seconds, Jamie. You go fill that time. Oh, he's all done. Anyways, Jamie, the photographer, is awesome. Oh, there we go. Doesn't matter if we can't hear him. We'll have him make up the moves on his own. There we go. Now, Felicia,
I'm going to show you how to spin on your head. Yeah. I'll show you how to spin on your head. It's not enough time? It's not enough time?
Make sure you have pants on, Felicia. Do you have pants on?
Yeah, I actually
we have
don't.
just enough time for you to do that. Oh, Jamie, always the best.
No, by the time I get in the position, it's too late. That's pretty cool.
All right, we'll be back. We'll see you tomorrow, everyone.
Or